Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to BattleTech Heavy Metal. We've skipped ahead a little bit. I'm still pretty bummed from yesterday. I know, I feel like I'm going through a cycle here of getting upset at the game and then getting less upset at the game, and this time I have not gotten less upset, and that's because I'm not really upset at the game. I'm upset at myself for having lost the Griffin with 42 days left, just getting too aggressive, because I thought we could handle it. I thought our pilots and our weapons were up to snuff, and they apparently were not. I'm a victim of my own overconfidence. Somebody once told me something about it being slow and insidious, and apparently this is what they meant. Right before the end, right before our moment of triumph, it swoops in and makes me make an ass out of myself in front of everybody. So, I went ahead and cleaned up the last mission on that planet, and then I flew us over to here, this place, which is called, Egress. I took the Egress to see the Egress, and, unfortunately, when I got here, I discovered something very sad. There are no Griffin parts in this store at all. It's a real bummer. That said, the Griffin is a very common mech. I know that we have sold multiple Griffin 1Ss. I am not thinking that it is impossible for us to just find one in the field, right? That could totally happen. Also, it is worth noting here in this store, there are a bunch of mechs that we have 4 of 5 parts of where the last part is for sale in the store. So I want to use this as an example to illustrate something. It will cost us 648,000 C-bills to finish this catapult. Keep in mind, this is the best price we could expect to get on a catapult. We are on a planet that is controlled by a government that is extremely friendly to us. If we were to purchase this thing, complete our Catapult K2, and then sell off the extra Catapult K2, we'd be able to move it for 593,000 C-bills. So anytime you do this, you're going to take a loss. But I think we're probably still going to do it for all of the mechs we have the capability to do it for. Because remember, the way C-bill scoring works, you get points for each C-bill that you earned over your career, but you do not lose points for C-bills that you spent. So, even with this being a little bit sub-money neutral, it's still good points. I'm not going to do it right this second. We're going to go ahead and do these missions and focus on gameplay for the video. But that's a thing we will totally be doing here. Also, there is a black market. Look at how expensive things are with our with our horrible pirate reputation increase. That is a full-size, a fully completed bull shark with, look at it, look at the stuff that is in that. 404 million C-bills. Sadly, they don't have anything we want. Sadly, I'd be pretty bummed out if they had a thing we want, because it would mean using an awful lot of money to buy it. There's some cool stuff for sale here, though. Like, check out this large pulse laser. Look at that thing, man. 450 range, enough damage to headshot in a single shot in 6 tons. Just 6 tons. I mean, it generates a ton of heat when you fire it, but it's hard to be upset about that kind of face-lancing power. Not a thing that we can buy. Even if we could buy it, we wouldn't, because that's insane, and there's only 29 days left in the game. But still, it's a very compelling weapon. Alright, so we have a contract active already. We came here to do a thing, and when we do this thing, we are going to bottom out our Federated Suns rep, and some good news on the rep front. Check this out. This mission and this top one, if I'm not mistaken, are both against the Free Worlds League, which means there's enough negative reputation here to take our Free Worlds League rep down to negative 100 as well. We're actually in a pretty good place score-wise. That's gonna finish off our reputation completion, and it's gonna push up our negative rep points. We're still gonna get upgrades and upgrade completion. If we can find this Griffin, if we can undo the horrible thing that I have done, we're still gonna end the game with a pretty good score. We just have to find that Griffin, and that's like very luck-based to that thing at this point. So, without any further ado, let's just go ahead and get in here. Blood wheel. Show me a thing. What are my rules of engagement today? Sweet wheel. Today, the Blood Wheel would like us to focus on target lock. I don't remember what any of these things do, and also I'm realizing I didn't even have my list open. There we go. Each turn, one member of the team must use sensor lock. Oh, that's not even a problem. That's extremely doable. So, Let's get in here. Obviously, we have lots and lots of sensor lock pilots. So we don't need to have sensor lock on everybody, but we probably want at least 2 people who are available, and we need to do a 2.5 symbol lance. So it's an urban biome, and it's a base capturing. I mean, it's just fighting robots, right? They're usually just fighting robots. So what can we get away with at 2.5 skulls? It feels like it's going to have to be a pretty small lance. We probably don't want to go for the flamethrower thing in an urban environment. What do we want to go for, though? Well, you know what? If we're probably going to be fighting smaller enemies, the Thumper, the mortar is disproportionately powerful against lighter mechs. And then we could go for some mechs that have real heat issues because of the fact that we're already going to be compelled to spend turns sensor locking anyway. So like this might be a really good time for the Phoenix Hawk. And then we should have something that can just tank. How about the Wolverine? This is actually a situation where it would be really nice to have that Griffin. And that's only 150 tons there. So what can we get away with as far as weight goes? Could we bring the Orion? No, the Orion is too much. How about a 70? A 70 works. Okay. So we want it to be something... You know what? Actually, the Warhammer. The Warhammer might be a really good fit here. If we're thinking about fighting smaller enemies, support weapons are always nice for that because they ignore evasion. This is definitely a mech where the pilot could sometimes take a moment and hit the sensors. Brass is actually 100% the optimal pilot for this mission, and it's really a bummer that she's in the hospital. Again, very, very my fault. So we need to put in a couple of sensor locks. Who do we actually have available? We have Trampoline, Steam Fitter, Sourdough, and of course Tire Fire, who's already out on the team. Who do we... what do we want to run here? Does the Phoenix Hawk have much in the way of natural cooling? No, it doesn't have even a single heatsink. So mechs that have some number of heatsinks in them are better at this take a turn off and catch your breath move. So we definitely, what I'm saying is we definitely want a pilot that has sensor lock in the Warhammer. Because the Warhammer is great at bleeding off heat, especially since I moved double heat sinks into it. So, who is it Steam Fitter maybe? And we usually run coolant vent in this thing, but again, Brass. Brass would be 100% the right pilot. Why don't we go Sourdough, actually? I guess it would be a little bit better to do sure footing than Bulwark. I do like the bonus initiative quite a bit. You know what? Let's do this. If we're up against max 2.5 symbol max, probably the toughness on an 800 armor mech isn't really going to be that much of a problem. This way we can spread out the PPCs and stuff. That's probably a good play. And then we need at least one more sensor lock. I mean, it can be Tire Fire. I think that's fine. In the Wolverine, honestly, yeah. In the Wolverine, that's okay. And then a coolant vent pilot in the Phoenix Hawk. I kind of want to pull Sculpin in. She doesn't quite have the aim yet, but we want to feed her XP still. And who is in the Thumper? It really doesn't need to be Cruz. I mean, this should totally be a person who has sensor lock. We should like run Sourdough in here. Yeah, okay, I feel pretty good about that team. So every turn we must apply at least one sensor lock. This is very doable. And actually, in this environment, kind of a good idea. Right? There's a lot of ways to lose sight of somebody in an urban environment, although I suppose, given that fact and the prevalence of sensor lock on our team, we maybe should have tried to play a mech that has some LRMs on it. Yeah, I could probably have, instead of bringing in the Warhammer, brought in the Thunderbolt. Done the LRM 35 thing. Yeah, alright. That might have been a better idea. I'm just eager for opportunities to use the Warhammer, because it's a very fun mech. So what are we doing here? We're capturing a base. Make a surgical strike, occupy the base, and hold it until Capellan forces can arrive to take control. And can you believe we're still working for the Capellans? Can you believe that's how the campaign worked out? Wild. It's wild the lives that our decisions bring us to.
Command interface
Alright,
initiated.
let's have some fun out here in the urban environment. Man, the game engine just can't handle some of the things it's being asked to do here, which is a shame, because the things it's being asked to do are awesome. Alright, we should recon the facility's defenses from a defensible position. You know what's a really defensible position is inside of the enemy's defenses.
On my way.
That's why they chose that position.
All right.
Also, I really like having the
Sensors.
Phoenix Hawk around because it's so good at seeing things. So we can see a locust over there. There's some other kind of garbage. I'm not expecting that there will be a griffin on this one, probably. If there is a griffin, it'll be horribly damaged, and we'll probably be able to headshot it with the Phoenix Hawk, so... Yeah, like the locust, especially if that's not a full armor locust, that's exactly the sort of target we're looking for with the Thumper. Okay, it is a full armor locust, which is a shame. Oh, there's a 55 over there. You know what, I might actually just hold off. Let's let them move toward us a little bit.
Standing by.
Oh man, it's probably just one of those locusts that has an LRM-5 on it. I think I might reserve all the way down this turn.
I'll wait here for now.
Let's let them show their hand a little bit.
Light damage, Commander.
Interesting. Is there... There might actually only be 3 mechs in their lance.
Standing by.
Which means that 100% for sure we are going to see a reinforcement lance, right? Because the budgets don't make sense otherwise. Do we want to jump in aggressively enough to be a threat to the 55? I mean, obviously the 55 is the one I want to take down first, but maybe leading with the... Can I get into a position where I can see him at least? Well, looks like we're going to have to do the sensor lock.
You betcha.
Obviously, this is the one we want to take down first. This is the most urgent, but at the same time,
Sensor lock.
the one I feel the least safe moving toward. Griffin 1N.
Orders.
And we have, in fact, confirmed there are 4 mechs. I don't know when this mech's turn was in the turn order. I mean, it's on 3, obviously, but it didn't seem like it hesitated long enough. Well, we could just give this guy the normal weaponry. I think we could save the... Unless the mortar is big enough to hit... No, not even close. I was going to say, if it's big enough to hit all 3 of them... But, yeah, I didn't think so. Alright, that's fine. We'll just move up here. We got our sensor lock for the turn off, so we can spend the rest of the turn just shooting at dudes.
Locking in all weapons.
Okay, wow, good shot.
Target eliminated.
Turns out locusts really suck.
Commander.
I don't know if you guys knew that. It's just a truly awful mech. Okay, I can get vision of that other one if I come up here. I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna jump in.
Time to fly.
I want to know what it is at the very least. It's a crab with a pair of medium lasers, or a pair of large lasers on it. That's interesting, I suppose. Fortunately, the Griffin's not really much of a threat. Oh, apparently the way I jumped in, I don't have vision of the locust. I guess it's small enough that this building is providing total cover for it. Well, I don't think I even want to fire. Let's just mess up the crab's targeting sensors.
I'm here.
All of the heat that we would generate for the very, very small amount of damage we might do there is just, it's not a good deal. Alright, let's, yeah, we'll jump all the way into here. I'm not vulnerable to the Griffin. I think we can cut this locust in half pretty easily. Just get this guy off the table.
Fire in all weapons.
Wow, really bad initial shooting.
Enemy eliminated.
Turns out, you get there because it takes almost nothing to kill a locust.
Go.
You know, you can tell from their name that they're designed for that not to be the primary danger of them. It's not that one of them is scary, it's that they're scary when they show up in swarms.
Affirmative.
I do not live in a part of the world that has to deal with locusts, but they sound like a real nightmare. We have fish flies, I guess. Every once in a while that gets real bad. Don't Google that, by the way. If you don't already know what a fish fly is, just live ignorant. Sometimes it's better. Come on, ammo? Nope. Alright. Well, it's still going to be pretty easy to take this guy out. For a second, I was about to be really annoyed that I took a shot, a stray shot there, but I think he hit that building.
Yes, Commander.
So who is going to be our sensor locker? It's probably the Wolverine again.
Got it.
I don't see any reason for it to be anybody else.
Sensors locked on.
Sensor lock you again, and then hopefully just knock the weapon systems off of the other guy. Or just kill him, I guess. If I jump in, can I get... Ooh, I can get everything. Yeah, let's get everything. So yes, I think we are just cutting this dude in half. Go straight to the center. God, it's so much damage. Also, just a really huge amount of heat. A very silly amount of heat.
All right.
We probably jump way too much as a team. But this gives us a very natural answer for the question of who provides the sensor lock on the next turn.
Waiting for orders.
Can you not? Okay, you can kind of get over there. I wanted to shoot into that side arc again, but it looks like we do not get that for free.
Location confirmed.
Well, do I want to aim? We could try to take his leg out from under him. I might be able to get his leg. Is that enough? Oh, one.
I'm receiving you.
Well, that's a shame.
Waiting for orders.
Let's let the Wolverine play a little bit. Gets to attack for the first time. All you have to do is get one of those missiles low. It actually looks like it didn't happen. Yeah, it totally didn't.
Want some more? Huh?
I did accidentally shoot him in the face, though. That's got to be worth something.
All weapons are good.
Out of spite, they're going to refuse to knock him down. We're just going to put it all into the torso. You are absolutely just going to move in the direction of the base and sensor lock, because you need a second.
The area isn't clear. Eliminate hostiles and secure it before proceeding to your next objective.
You know, Darius, I'm so glad that you're here to tell me things like that. Because without you, I would never have known how clear the area was.
Let's get this done, folks.
Alright, this crab is mega dead. It's a very, very easy kill. And then once we actually move into the facility, I'm assuming we'll see a reinforcement lance. I don't know, that was probably not 2.5 skulls worth of enemies, right?
Aye, aye. Confirmed.
Because we got to bring a 70-ton, and that lance had 2 locusts in it. Let's see what happens here.
I'm picking up a new sensor.
Yep, okay, there we are.
Looks like enemy reinforcements.
But if it's probably going to be a pretty small, pretty weak lance, is my guess. I do not think we are likely to see another Griffin, given the amount of mission budget that is left. Well, okay, that's a 50.
Ready for orders.
Unfortunately, Griffins are 55s. You know what? Let's just hold off on you. Let's let their little ones approach, that they may be properly thumped. I think there might have been time for a second 4 there. This is their big brilliant plan. They're just gonna shoot at the 70-ton mech until they run out of bullets, I guess.
Standing by.
Okay, they got something moving on too. Wow, it sure did not look like those missiles were anywhere near us.
Yes, Commander.
That's interesting. Alright, let's say the Thumper is going to be the one who uses the sensor lock here. Let's grab a lock on this guy and see exactly what he is. CN9A. Does that thing even have LRMs? It does. It has a 10.
Yes, Commander.
It's actually, for its size, it's actually kind of dangerous.
What can I do for you?
Let's go with the Warhammer here real fast. Can I get close enough with a full jump in? I cannot. No support weapons for me. I don't really want to jump up on top of the building, as powerful as that can be, because these buildings only have 60 health. There we go. There's a spot where I can see that guy. It's like jumping on the buildings is asking for trouble.
And stay down.
There are very few ways that the kind of enemies that we're going to see here in the rest of the mission might actually do any meaningful damage to the Warhammer, but letting them shoot a building out from under it is certainly one of those ways.
I hear ya.
Do you have a yeah, you have a sensor lock.
Moving out.
We'll just strip evasion on this guy.
Got a lot.
Although I guess it doesn't matter because he goes at the beginning of the next turn, right?
I'm here.
So the only time we would be able to make any benefit out of the evasion we just stripped is right this second. So I guess let's go for it. I was planning to just do a soft shot to, You know what? I'm gonna cool and vent and try it with everything. He only has 60 center torso health, so we only need 2 hits.
Copy that, Commander.
No, it went to... We actually hit 4 different locations with our weapons there.
Critical hit.
That is what happens when you don't have called shot mastery.
Receiving you. Heading out.
Alright, well, we pretty much have this guy dead to rights, I would think.
Got it. Enemy down.
And then we know there's something slightly off in the distance, a 65-tonner, so probably like a Thunderbolt or something. I mean... We probably just wait for it to come to us a little bit, right? It no longer has a firing solution, so it's going to have to come out into the
I'm
open.
receiving you.
And then... Wolverine can give us a sensor lock, I assume? Yep, we are well within sensor range. It's a Jaeger mech.
Waiting for orders.
I think we have several parts of a Jaeger mech completed already. So we could try to go for the headshots. We have enough resolve that that might work. Let's, I guess we... I don't know if we need to jump in. I'm going to jump in for defensive purposes.
Acknowledged.
Although this is probably going to mean I don't get to fire all my weapons. We're close.
Engaging target.
I hear ya.
The Warhammer is not super likely to get... Yeah, I mean, we're just not super likely to get headshot kills with this team.
Right, Commander.
Okay, we made contact. I'm on 12, it looks like.
Standing by.
So it's
On the move.
totally possible. 10 to 50 damage per location. Does it do damage to heads? Let's find out. We're going to run a test.
Fire downrange.
I don't think the limited number of times that we've used these, I don't think I've ever noticed. It looks like it doesn't. I mean, that makes sense. It would be super powerful if it did.
Commander.
Okay, who
can I
wants
do
to
for ya?
take the shot? I mean, it's got to be the person who has the most weapons. That's what makes the most sense, right? Can we get you... You would have to jump to get to support weapon range? We're not going to be able to fire everything here. We can turn off the snub PPCs. Oh, I think one went real high. Okay, no, it wasn't a headshot, though.
Yeah. Critical hit.
Well,
I'm here.
we're definitely not getting that,
Waiting on you, Commander.
the 3 pieces of salvage off of this guy. And I guess I don't even get to aim anymore. Whatever, just kill him, it's fine. Did we sensor lock this turn? I don't remember. We'll sensor lock this turn, just to keep the blood wheel
Got a
happy.
sensor lock.
We are certainly in a low danger situation. It's not like, it's not like I'm risking anything here.
Acknowledged.
He's gonna... If he survives that, the worst thing that could happen is he runs forward and tries to kick the Warhammer. And probably misses in an embarrassing fashion. Alright, so we got people inbound. Have we claimed... Did we touch the base yet? Yeah, okay, everything's good.
Mission successful.
I would like to think that the Liao family is always pleased with our work, although I guess we have flubbed some things in some big public ways on a couple of occasions. And a whole 90,000 C-bills. What is it, my birthday? Alright, to finish a Centurion and work toward completion of a Jaeger mech. And hey, that small laser's pretty good. And we're not taking components right now. Unless we are absolutely 100% sure that the mech pieces we're taking couldn't be used to complete a thing, there's not a lot of sense in taking components. Because individual components sell for such a small amount of money. I mean, we're talking fractions of points, right? Remember, 10,000 C-bills is 1 point, so like a medium laser is less than half a point, or it's in the neighborhood of half a point, I think. Very, very poor conversion.
You asked for is cleared for fighting.
I do know a thing or two about the Centurion 9A, Yang. Come on, you've been with this company this whole time. You know this. We have seen those before. Alright, let's do a couple of the 3-skull missions here, because these will be a little bit more interesting, and then I'll do the easy ones off camera. Basically, we're going to jump from world to world every episode until this finishes, because I'm going to level with you. I'm ready for the series to come to an end. I think we're ready as a group. I don't want to speak for y'all, but like, right? Come on. Okay, so 3 points of salvage, and of course, a great big spin of the wheel. A wheel. I do wish it wouldn't refresh like that. Okay. Also, I don't know if it always gets framey in the actual recording, but it gets a little weird looking on the OBS preview. Hey, hold on. That's a respin. That's a respin. Sometimes the wheel likes to test us. Okay, close range. Only shoot from within sensor lock, or from within support range. We can totally do that. Is this another urban one? Yeah, so another urban one with a 3-skull this time. I think we'll trade out the Thumper for the Vulcan. And then maybe trade out... Can we drop the Batroc? We can probably go pretty high, right? Okay, that's too high. Would the Orion work, though? Okay, the Orion's pretty good at getting up on people. So the Vulcan and... pretty much the Vulcan. I guess the Vulcan and the Wolverine can both... Vulcan and the Warhammer can both provide that support weapon range. We're real good at getting up on people in this environment. And do I want to change our pilots at all? I don't think so. Actually, Sculpin's a pretty good pilot for the boombox. I don't know if you're what we need on the Vulcan. You know what? She's not bad. We just have to be a little bit careful with it. 600 armor is not ideal. And fingers crossed on that Griffin. Maybe I should be running the Marauder on these higher... Oh, right. I gotta pull the blood wheel off the screen. That'd be a good idea. Maybe I should be running the Marauder on these for just in case we run into a Griffin. So that we don't have a repeat of the thing that just happened to the Jaeger mech, where we're not able to find the headshots and we end up ripping it in half. Because we do need 3 parts of that Griffin to finish it. Alright, I'll make sure to bring the headshot mechs with us as much as possible from here on, until we resolve our Griffin problem. You hear that? You hear that sound in my voice? That's the power of positive thinking right there. Just hoping we will be given the chance to resolve things. Again, did not actually read the mission brief. Lance of pirate military units, shoot them. Got it. I feel like most of our mission briefs could just be the 2 words, shoot them. I don't really get a lot of extra information here. Occasionally, Darius buries a valuable piece of strategic information in the text. Very occasionally. Just wait, come on. Come on. I'm so eager to just bulldog these dudes and get right up in their faces. Apparently, this map, whatever it's loading, is very complicated. I guess that's the case with the urban maps, right?
Command interface initiated.
Also, it would be nice if the sound of the landing pods coincided with the visual of the landing pods making contact in any way. These guys are amateurs, we're told. Which I didn't really need to be told, because we know what their difficulty
Time to
rating
earn
is.
our money. I read you, Commander. Moving out.
I think we should have no problems with getting in on them. 40, a 45... Was that a 20 that I saw over there? No, it can't be. A 70. That's, 7s and 2s are similar-ish. I'm going to let them come in at us, because we have a ton of evasion right now. I want them shooting into that evasion. Oh no! Got hoisted by my own petard there a little bit.
Ha! Send me a real opponent!
The Vulcan is a real goofy-looking mech. I suppose it would be hard to shoot at. The weird, long, tall legs. There's a lot of area there where there would be mass on other mechs that you will just miss if you shoot at here, but it's still silly looking.
Good to go.
I think it might be worth actually having the Warhammer jump in and just flatten this thing to kill line of sight, so that 70 has to come forward.
Here we go.
And I see no reason to be gentle on this. Let's just ventilate it.
This should be good.
I mean, I guess the reason would be that I could have generated somewhat less heat than that, probably. BJ1, not exactly a terrifying opponent. Hold on, did we pick up? We did. A 50. That's a shame. We do know the thing we're looking for is a 55. Let's just make this guy our next big target. I think we probably hold off on the flamethrowing. But blackjacks are not super tough. Wow. Did we just double shoot his head? No, okay, it was just one of the lasers. It looked like 2 lasers randomly went to the face, which would have been some incredible bad luck for him.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Although I guess with the lasers on that thing, I should have known, because if 2 of them had hit his head, he just would have died instantly.
You betcha. Got it.
Alright, not super pleased about the very even spreading of the damage so far. And I'm a little worried that their mechs are going to have a bunch of LRMs and stuff. It looks like their solution is going to be ignore the LRMs and just come at me with a huge number of enemies. That's certainly a way you can do it.
Targeted for an alpha strike.
Okay, the UAC-10 gets the job done. Those explosions look nice.
New target.
And this game looks cool as hell. They did a really, really good job with the visual design. So what else do we have coming in? We have a 55. There's a 40 up there. Okay. Fingers crossed on that 55. I think we let them approach. Oh, apparently they already have vision of me. Maybe their 70-ton mech has an improved what do you call it? Improved range of vision thing. Those aren't pirate colors on those units. You are intruding on a joint pirate and pirate operation. I can't believe that this made it through their testing. Why, those aren't pirate colors? Those guys are pirates! So we know that they can actually see us, but if the only one they can see is the Warhammer, I'm inclined to let them just shoot at it a little bit more. We can let the Warhammer tank some turns. Especially if it gets the enemy to not to end their turns without bracing. Oh, that's a 1N. I got all excited because I saw the word Griffin. Well, you know, on the one hand, it does seem like we are being actively taunted by the game. On the other hand, it really is making a point to us about how common Griffins are, so that's fun. I think the only way we're going to get actual, legal targeting on this is the Vulcan running in. I'm going to reserve down one more time. Let's let them take the turn with the 70-ton. The Warhammer's real tough, and okay, I was going to say if he has LRMs, the Vulcan still has a fair amount of evasion.
Ready for orders.
Alright, so if the Vulcan moves to here, we do have flamethrower range. I'm thinking I might not fire this turn, but just move in to get support weapon range. So it's this line out here, right? If we make a jump... Sorry, that's not good enough. We need to be a little closer. Yes, okay. This line out here describes the maximum range of the support weapons. I'm going to have this thing jump over to here. That Griffin is a legal target for everybody, but it doesn't expose the relatively soft Vulcan to all of these enemies. My left side is my weak side. So we'll jump like that, and we'll just sensor lock him. Alright, good luck, everybody. Happy hunting. This shouldn't be too hard. Griffin 1N design has some serious structural design problems. And we get, yes, we do still get the SRM. I think I'm gonna go for, let's start with the Orion, because we are going to spend a precision strike here. Ooh, can I really not get closer than that? Can't get close enough for the missiles to be useful.
I hear ya.
Okay, never mind. We're not starting with the Orion then. So I want that UAC-10 to actually make contact. Can I see you from here? I lose the SRMs, but I gain cover. It's probably fine. Okay, good tight cluster.
Commander?
Didn't get the amount of exploding that I was hoping for.
Yes, Commander.
So we can run onto the open, take a real bad UAC-10 shot that still might get the job done. I think I'm going to.
Location confirmed.
It's going to be a 65. And Sculpin doesn't really have very good aim.
Acknowledged.
Ah, that's a shame.
I hear ya.
The connection there would have been real handy. Alright, we'll just move you forward in a way that doesn't expose you to all of the enemies, and...
Time to die.
Okay, that's fine.
When I shoot you, you'll take it and like it.
I always forget about the sensor impairment part of the SPPC, and honestly, it just doesn't need it. It's a good enough weapon, even without the defensive addition. Okay, no big deal.
Nice try.
So another Vulcan. I do like the way their mechs look. It's a strong paint scheme.
Orders.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Oh, the Orion doesn't move until 2. I was really hoping that we could use the Orion to probably finish off the Griffin here.
Standing by.
I think then we have the Wolverine move up, present itself as a possibility, because it's quite a bit tougher than our other
Coordinates
mechs.
received.
So we got a Trebuchet and an Enforcer, so that's an AC-10 with a large laser and basically nothing at all. I mean, I guess it has a PPC. I'm too disrespectful of PPCs. They're bad weapons, but they're not quite as bad as I make them out to be sometimes. Alright, not bad. And apparently that building was full of huge papers. Did you see how big those pieces of paper were? They were like mech-sized, mech-appropriate notebook paper. Ooh, okay. you know, the shot didn't hit me, but it certainly made an impression. I think this might be a sensor lock turn for the Warhammer. We gotta take it easy for a moment here. Let's just lock you.
I've got a sensor lock.
I'm not allowed to shoot people that are outside of support weapon range, but I am allowed to sensor lock them. And I think we leave the Vulcan in place for the moment. So reserve down, let the 2 take its action. Okay, it's a Warhammer 6D.
Good to go.
I really want the Orion to go next, is the thing. So, am I not going to be able to get a shot on that Vulcan? That was my plan. Okay, so you need to make sure that I'm in a place where I'm allowed to shoot at these guys. The Enforcer is already in flamethrower range. In fact, they both are. Well, okay, then let's let the Orion... I mean, that Enforcer has Bulwark up, which I hate. And he's also just kind of tough, honestly. I believe his AC-10 and his large laser are on different sides. It's like one of the better designs, one of the better stock designs in the game. Well, the Trebuchet is a legal target, but it's also garbage. I'm not really sure what the right play is here.
I'm receiving you.
I run you all the way up to here. You can take a terrible shot at that guy, or... yeah, this is just rough going for poor Sculpin. Maybe this is a run forward and brace kind of turn. Just let my heat and my recoil modifier reset and come at them again afterward. No, I'm gonna commit the precision strike. This is probably gonna end up being a waste of my time, but we gotta start getting damage on this thing. Yeah, we didn't even make it through his armor.
Good to go.
So, if I jump down, I lose support weapon range on the trebuchet, but I keep it on the others. Nobody has generated any meaningful heat. I guess I should just shoot at this guy because we're shooting at this guy. It really does suck, though, that nobody is generating any heat at all. Alright. Damage reduction doesn't prevent a headshot from injuring the pilot. You're gonna reserve, because I want to keep your 1 point of evasion for the moment. Is that Centurion new information? Ooh, I don't like that. He did not do a good job, but he did close enough to a good job to make me nervous.
Commander.
Who is going to shoot that thing in the back? I guess it's not the most important concern right at this moment. Because he has already used his turn, but... Also, I can't actually get the rear arc fire on him. That's crummy. Alright, in theory, if that Warhammer really engages, it will probably have trouble managing its heat. We might be able to get some decent flamethrower work done there.
What can I do for you?
The Vulcan right now... I'm assuming it couldn't hit this guy. Yeah, I'd have to move forward for him to be in sensor lock, or in support weapon range. So we're really focused on the Enforcer and the Vulcan for the moment.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, well maybe we do just try to
I hear ya.
finish ripping the side off of that Enforcer. The Warhammer might just be able to get the job done without even having to wait for the... without having to wait for the bulwark to come off. He's very good at his job.
Affirmative.
Just go in through where we have weakened it.
Right, Commander. Yeah, critical hit.
Okay, 45. That's not bad. 45 and unsteadied. Ooh.
Critical hit. Bad one, I think. What can I
Yeah,
do?
we're probably gonna have our Vulcan fall back and kill their Vulcan from behind. That's probably gonna be the play. So let's try to just finish the Enforcer off here. Honestly, there's a pretty good chance that I don't need to spend the resolve, and I'd really prefer to save it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because we want it for the Vulcan's move. Alright, so at this point, nobody except this Vulcan is a legal target for stuff. I think we run around here and just drill from behind. We are in a bad position heat-wise.
On the move.
Can I shoot everything? Not without an overheat. How much damage do we actually have to do? 90. Well, we might get there. I'm going to turn on the flamethrowers for the 5 damage that they deal.
Firing on rear arc.
Wow, did all 3 of the lasers miss? That's incredible. Okay, well, all of a sudden we're totally screwed.
Minor damage, Commander. Nothing to see here.
Waiting for orders.
All 3 of the lasers missing is really, really, really bad. Like, it's hard to overstate how much that hurts our ability to make our Vulcan survive. I guess we have the shot against him next turn too, but I think I'm gonna like really commit deep on this guy. We gotta peel him off.
Critical hit, Commander.
I was really hoping to produce enough stability damage there to knock all of his the rest of his evasion out, because it's a real problem. All right, you need to. You didn't hit him. You hit him for 10 damage. You hit him with both of the flamethrowers in that location. And you won't be able to fire even the... Man. Yeah, this sucks a huge amount. All three of those lasers missing last turn was such a bad thing. Such a very hugely bad thing. We did basically no damage to him. We took off his arm, which doesn't change anything at all, with the Orion, of all things. Yeah, this is very bad, actually. Alright, my left side is weak now. We're going to move like this. I don't think, given the very small amount of firing that we get to do, I don't think we can afford to use the precision strike. Okay, that helps. It's definitely a little bit lower on guns, and remember, the Vulcan is naturally strong against melee. It's a thing that actually comes up. I do hate the fact that these two enemy forces, which are absolutely just one enemy force, get 2 turns to my 1.
What can I do for you?
If they want to be like, well, this is 2 other players, so, you know, they each get a turn, then they have to not do the they're both pirates thing. Alright, I'm going to try to just shoot the...
Time to fly.
I'm just going to hit the backside of this guy with as much as I can do without overheating. Because they don't have that much health. Do I have to turn off 1 PPC? Yeah, that'll cover it.
Targeting enemy backside.
Yeah, it's got to be a kill.
And stay down.
Now that is how you use some support
Waiting
weapons.
for orders.
If I go for this, I'm just leaving myself open to being shot in the back, so I think with this guy... Well, you know what? They just have to be within 90 support weapon range of one of our mechs, right? So I can just run over here and shoot at this Centurion. He's within support weapon range of the Wolverine itself. Does he have ammo in his center torso by any chance? No, but I think we still just go center.
This should be good.
Yeah, I think we still just want to try to kill him as quickly as possible.
Some more, huh? I'm receiving you.
They did... Wait, they did nothing but guard? He didn't even turn around? Well, that's wrong. He should absolutely have turned around. I mean, listen, I appreciate him dying for no reason. It's really helpful to me, actually, but he should absolutely have turned around.
Firing on rear arm.
I was gonna say, if we failed to kill him again with the amount of damage we just put out there, I was gonna be very cross. Okay, you need to get aggressed on so that we're allowed to shoot at you. There we go. Thank you, destroyed building. So this Trebuchet is not a huge threat, but that Centurion doesn't move until Initiative 2 and is probably already dead. So this guy, sadly... Do I want to fire at him at all, or do I just want to give him the sensor lock? I guess we can make it so he can't safely use that PPC, probably. Yep, he did in fact do exactly that. Sadly, he has fled to a range where I don't think he's still within support weapon range of any of our mechs.
Waiting on you, Commander.
You are just going to have to take it easy for a turn.
Got it.
How easy is... Oh, it turns out, actually, not that much. Although, he does only have 34 center torso health, so maybe we could do... We could turn some of this stuff off. We'll just aim center.
Roger that. Firing on target.
Okay, we got him.
Gotcha.
This turned out to be a very slight amount more difficult than I was expecting. Are you in... Oh, it's so hard to tell if that's support weapon range or not. You know what? I'm gonna err on the side of safety and assume that we are not allowed to shoot him right now.
Sensor lock. Standing by.
It's fine. Everybody needs to take a moment here and kind of get themselves back together.
Give them everything you've got.
So here, we absolutely want to just run up on this dude.
Aye, aye.
Precision strike with everything I'm allowed to fire. And this is mostly about just pushing his initiative down.
Roger.
Ah, man, the fire looks very red today.
My flamer is empty. Good to go.
Okay, I'm gonna let Tirefire try to take this blind, and if she doesn't get it, then we have the precision strike for the people with the bigger guns.
Firing everything I've got.
She totally might just get there, though. Yep, okay.
And stay down.
Now, Wolverine is a fine mech. It's very murdery.
Mission
Alright, we'll
successful.
debrief in orbit, he says, which is a total lie. We will not, in fact, hear anything about why we weren't told about the Second Lance, and we will not be paid for their presence. It's just kind of how it goes down here. So the Vulcans taking a beating very slowly, and we are nowhere near completing any of these mechs. That's a shame. Alright, so there's nothing in here that's particularly valuable, but I think there's a very real chance that we will fail to complete the builds on any of the mechs we take salvage for here. I guess let's grab... If it's going to keep teasing us with the Griffin, we may as well take one of the other pieces of Griffin. And then, what do I think is the most valuable? It's probably a PPC. It's like random PPC is more valuable than a medium laser, LRM-10. It might be the AC-10, honestly. Let's take that instead. That might be the most valuable piece of componentry. I suppose I could have watched the value meter change. We ended up getting a bunch of the PPCs anyway, so... A little disappointing. A tiny bit disappointing that we haven't seen more Griffins. I am going to feel so stupid if we get to the end of this and we have not managed to put together a Griffin 1S. It's going to be gonna put a real black mark on our score for me. If we do get it together, we're going to end north of 600k, though, for sure. Which is, that's a thing you can feel good about. We are 52 minutes into the episode. How many contracts do we have left on this world? Yeah, let's call the episode here. You know what, I won't just clean this up off camera. We'll go ahead and we'll do these tomorrow. That'll be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for coming. Come back next time tomorrow. We are not in such a hurry to exit via the egress. So we'll clean this up, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do with our remaining 29 days. We probably have time to jump to 2 more systems, right? There are a bunch of places in Capellan space that are like 12 or 13 days away from each other, so we'll just do a couple of real short jumps. In theory, we still have probably like in the neighborhood of 10-ish contracts, counting the ones we'll do tomorrow, in which to find this Griffin. So, fingers crossed, still not impossible. We'll see you then.